Mr. Jackson, we're going to begin with employee recognitions in just a moment.
I wanted to thank Mayor and Council for this opportunity. We have a number of recognitions and awards to share with you this evening. We've stored these up since before the holidays, so we have a lot to be proud of and a lot of folks to recognize. So please bear with me. Would not want to slight these folks in the least, but know this will take a little bit of time. But we're here tonight to recognize departments, teams, and individuals for extraordinary accomplishments, in many cases where they've been recognized by their peers, professionals in their field, both on a state and a national level. So these are quite significant. First of all, I just want to highlight a couple of recent events. And I will not call on individuals to be recognized for these, but I do think they're worth noting here for you in the community. These are significant public safety responses to extraordinary events in the last couple of weeks. As you know, on January 2nd, the Asheville Police Department responded to Mack Street following reports of a discharged weapon in a residential property. The ensuing standoff, in which the armed suspect sought refuge in his apartment, required the evacuation of nearby neighbors and the involvement of Asheville Police Department Emergency Response Team and a crisis negotiation team. The standoff lasted overnight as temperatures dropped well below freezing. The officers' effort was bolstered by invaluable assistance from Buncombe County Sheriff's Office, shout out for their participation, and Henderson County Sheriff's Office, who came at 2 in the morning, I believe, to relieve them as well. These teams allowed our officers to take breaks during nearly a 24-hour event. On the morning of January 3rd, I'm pleased to tell you that the standoff was resolved without any injury to our officers, Buncombe County or Henderson County's officers, to the suspect, or to nearby neighbors. The professionalism and ability displayed by these officers and our police department is commendable, and our community is safer because of their presence. That would be the first recognition I'd like to make tonight. On January 10th, another regional incident. A gas line beneath Sand Hill Road in the Enka Fire District ruptured and ignited, sending flames more than 50 feet in the area and rocking the area for miles around. More than 40 Asheville Fire Department personnel responded to provide mutual aid alongside regional departments. By mutual aid, I mean this is not within the city. We are assisting other departments, primarily the Enka Fire Department, in responding. The fire burned on for just under 2 hours. The incident required evacuation of nearby buildings, a process which was aided by the participation of a city bus to evacuate. Once the fire was extinguished, the City of Asheville Public Works and Water Resources crews, in coordination with North Carolina Department of Transportation, came in and dealt with the impacted utilities, went to work through the night and the next day to replace a section of the damaged line. Sand Hill Road was open to traffic by Sunday night and available for Monday morning commute, so businesses were not disrupted. Though the roadway was not within the City of Asheville boundaries, the teams on hand were able to provide the best and the quickest response. So without question, without needing to have you all intervene, we stepped forward and took care of that as regional partners. So I would like to commend all of these departments, the fire department, the water department, public works, police, who all responded and worked through the weekend to make that happen. We're also very proud of our Water Resources women's pipe tapping team. I'd like to ask them to stand where they're seated. They are Michelle Smith, Brenna Cook, Virginia Pardo, and Mariah Riggenberg. The department's water pipe tapping team is being recognized for outstanding work during the 93rd Annual North Carolina American Water Works Association. The the women's pipe tapping team called the Copperheads. Put it up a time of 2 hours and 40 seconds. This was the national award-winning time. Oh, just 20 seconds off the national award-winning time. So we're very proud of their accomplishments and salute these women for their fine work and showing their professional competence among their peers. Now to recognize our Development Services Department. As you know, we've downsized the Development Services Department from over 70 personnel to just over 50. We've streamlined the operation. We're now automating the process of plans and permits, and we have a responsibility to be annually rated and certified in the state. And the combination of these ratings are gathered from all the different departments throughout the state, and the average of those ratings are what drive our statewide insurance rates. Okay? And so annually, so this process goes on, and we participate in it, and we could get a score from 1 to 10. The average in the norm in the state is predominantly 4 to 5, and then the insurance rates are based upon that. Our ISO rating grade was a 2. And we're not allowed to know who the other party was that received a 2, but we know we're only one of 2 departments that have the rating of 2 in the entire state. So I'd like to ask all of our building code officials for their effectiveness grading to please stand to be recognized. These scores show how dedicated to quality and integrity we run our building inspections department. And so you can be proud of that, and folks can feel safe knowing that we have one of the most thorough and highest integrity departments in the state. We also would like to recognize our engineering team involved in the RAD-TIP project, the River Arts District Transportation Improvement Project. Our team was, and if they'll please stand, Dan Bechtold, Stephanie Munson-Dahl, Ken Putnam, and Kathy Ball. The American Council of Engineering Companies of North Carolina Engineering and Excellence Awards is an annual competition that honors and recognizes engineering and surveying firms for projects which demonstrate the highest degree of achievement, value, and ingenuity. On November 7th, the engineering firm of C.D. Smith and the City of Asheville received an honors award for the preliminary design of the River Arts District Transportation Improvement Project. You will be hearing more about this project later today as we try to move into the actual final engineering design. So hats off to C.D. Smith and our staff who work directly with them. Now I have 3 more to go, and these are really achievements of excellence as well. For an achievement in excellence for the Engineering Design Award for the Cherokee Retaining Wall. This is the wall that you recognize, remember, failed in North Asheville in the Albemarle Park Historic District, and our task was to design and recreate that and maintain its historic character, make it functional and safe, and it was truly a challenge and an engineering feat to accomplish that. I'd like to call forward to actually formally receive the award, which was granted back in November, the team of Greg Schuler, John Gavin, please come forward, Brian Estes, Lee Morrison, and Stacy Merton.
Thank you, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council. One of the most important team members was not able to make it tonight. Lee Morrison, our construction inspector, is in Mississippi doing some deer hunting. So, but great team here. We had a good team with our consultants, and the community did as much as anybody to help us come up with the design and the patience that they showed through the construction was admirable. We really appreciate that.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wow.
Two more to go. Okay. Believe it or not, Asheville is a Silver Walk-friendly community. And that did not happen by accident. Asheville was recently named a Silver Walk-friendly community by the Pedestrian and Bicycle Center in Chapel Hill. Asheville is one of 44 walk-friendly communities in the nation and the fourth to be so designated in North Carolina. This is based upon the engineering, education, and investments that are being made with the approval and direction of the City Council, and they enhance our pedestrian facilities in the community. You're well aware of the additional lane miles of sidewalks that have gone in and the safe routes to schools connections that are being put in partnerships with the North Carolina Department of Transportation. I'd like to call up Marcia Stickford, Barb Mee, Sergeant Scott Pruitt, Officer John Derrick, Scott Barnwell, and Alan Glines to take this plaque from me.
Thank you very much. We are grateful for the support that we receive from you to do the work we do, and the support that we receive from our colleagues who work every day to make things more walkable, who enforce the codes and who enforce the laws. And it takes everybody. We could not have done this application without the energy of our volunteers from the Bicycle and Pedestrian Task Force. They kind of come together from time to time to form my staff. It's cool, but they are wonderful, and we cannot do these kinds of things without them.
I really appreciate Barb Mee. That was Barb Mee, our coordinator for those activities, recognizing the pedestrian task force. They really do prod and give us pride in what we're doing, and their efforts have been the catalysts to move us forward. They really are an inspiration to all of us. Finally, I'd like to call Steve Schoaf up with Tim Burdine, please. We have an extraordinary employee in Tim Burdine. 11-year employee of the Water Services Department. On November 11th, Timothy received the Water Distribution Operator of the Year from the North Carolina American Water Works Association.
Wow.
And then, on November 12th, he received a national level honors recognition for meritorious service. This award is given to distribution operators who are deserving of special recognition, special performance in the development of new and modified equipment or significant process modifications to our water maintenance division. And so Steve might have a thing to say as well, and please do.
Thank you. Mayor, members of council, Tim Burdine is truly an exemplary employee. I've only been here about 4.5 years, approaching 5 years, and from just about the first week I was here, I would call Tim and say, you know, I noticed this over in this area, and he'd say, yes, sir, I'll get right on it. I'd call in the middle of the night, yes, sir, I'll get right on it. He's just a willing employee, very knowledgeable of our system. He's put in the time and the hours. He's constantly asking questions. What can I do better? How can I learn to do this better? He's had good mentorship and good training, but he's taken it upon himself to pursue that level of excellence that was recognized by the state and by the International AWWA organization. So we're very proud of what he's done. If I could digress for just a second, Gary talked to you earlier about the Copperheads, the women's tapping team, and he used a time of 2 hours and some minutes. I'm not saying I could make a tap in 2 hours and some minutes. There are a lot of people who can, but actually their time was the 2 minutes and 43 seconds or whatever it was. So it was quite an accomplishment. It was a very good time for them. But we have a very competitive division. They're always striving to improve and striving for excellence. And Tim certainly is a shining example of that. And I'm very pleased that he won those awards. Thank you, Steve.
Tim, would you shake the council members' hands too? This is not every day that we have a nationally recognized employee. Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Feels good, man.
Yeah, exactly. You want to sit?
You can take my seat.
But yeah. Thank you.